Peace, family. Welcome to another edition of Trust the Process podcast. My name is Jocelyn Renee, and you can think of me as your digital loctician. I am so excited because I have two amazing, beautiful women that have locks here today to share with you just a glimpse into their journey with locks. Of course, while you're here as a guest, whether you're live or watching the replay, definitely check in the comments. So if you're watching live, hashtag live. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And let me know where you're checking in from because, maybe one day we'll be doing a live podcast in your city. A girl could dream, right? Um, with our podcast and with just the way in which we show up for ourselves here in the digital loctician trust the process space, we got some water, right? So if nothing else, grab you a glass of water. All right, so as we're talking, as we are conversing and just growing together, we can also hydrate our bodies. All right, so without further ado, I would like to introduce Melody, bringing her up to the stage. Hello, hello. And
Hello.
Jessica, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank
I would,
you.
of course, I'm so happy that you could be here. And I would like for you to just share where you are and how long you've had locks. Like when about did you start your lock journey?
So I am in Maryland.
Whoop,
I I started my lock journey, I think 6 years ago now. Almost, I don't know, almost 7. It was
Yep.
2016. So yeah, this summer it'll be 7 years.
Wow.
I know, right? And they were started by Jocelyn. So
That's
yeah.
why we're both like, what? How
Yeah.
about you, Melody? Where are you at?
I'm in Ohio
Nice.
and I started my locks a year and a month and a half ago.
So 13 months. You're pretty new in there.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So we have two different like perspectives in the journey. I love when we have that dynamic. Before we get to our conversation, we got to decide what word we're going to use tonight as we're drinking our water. So I'm looking at both of you. I feel like Jessica, well, we know you have micro locks. Melody,
Mhm.
do you have traditional
Hmm.
locks?
Yep.
Yeah. So I feel like we're going to be saying what's a word that might come up kind of often in our conversation?
Journey.
Journey. I
That's a
think
good one.
that's the word. I think that's the word. All right. So whenever you hear the word journey, take a sip of your water, okay? Better crack that bottle open. All right. So with talking about journeys, Melanie, you're the newest one into the journey. So what brought you to start Locks 13 months ago?
I had been thinking about it for many years and I was just frustrated with my hair. I stopped relaxing and was natural and um, doing basically just twist outs because I'm very stylistically challenged. So
Me too. All good.
So my grades started coming in on the side and they were like very unruly. They did what they wanted to do. So I cut off the sides and still twisted. And I was just frustrated with it. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it because I'd been thinking about it for years. So I'm like, I just did it.
You just did it. And then when you first started, you went all the way in, or did you put them in, take them out, come back?
Now I put them in. Well, I started with two strand twists
Okay.
and been with it.
Been with
Haven't
it.
taken them out yet. I thought about it. At one point I wanted to, but I was like, no, I'm going to stick with it for at least a year. So I'm still hanging in.
Still going strong. Okay. We just passed that year threshold.
Yep.
And what about you, Jessica? I know almost 7 years ago when I met you, totally different space, totally different job,
Yeah.
occupation, life, all the things.
Oh my goodness, so many different things.
Right?
So I've always just loved the look of locks. But I'm from the very deep south of Mississippi, and my family. So my brother had locks at one point, and my family just like gave him the blues until he cut them. And so I just, it was like unacceptable. So, um, I was a loose natural for about, I guess, almost 10 years. And then it just became too much. The longer my hair got. So I cut it. And then I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to lock it. And so I tried like faux locks for a little bit and I liked them. So I went to someone in Baltimore and she was like, I tried to tell her how I wanted it. And she was like, well, no, you can't be, picky. You kind of have to just go with it. And so she gave me like traditional sized, borderline thick size locks with like a box parting system. And I was like, I don't want that. And so I ended up combing them out and well,
After
they
how
didn't last
long?
at all, so I guess I didn't really comb them out.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and then that's when I met Jocelyn, and we had a full consultation about like, the vision and how I wanted them and like what it would take to get that. And I decided on a what is it called?
Organic.
Yeah, the organic parting system.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish I had went with diamond though sometimes because that's what you told me to do in the beginning. But yeah, I like my organic parting system too. So
Do one of the things that has always stood out to me and like years down the line is the reason why you chose organic partings. Do you remember why?
I don't remember.
So when you told me, like, as we were talking, having our consultation, you were just like, I want to go with the organic parting system because so much of my life always has to be structured and in place. Like, I want to control this
Mm,
and I want it to be unstructured. And I was just like, wow, that is
yeah, I
such an
remember that
interesting way
now.
to, but it's a journey, right? And
Yeah.
Melody, like, do you remember your, what parting system you chose? Did you start them yourself? Did you go somewhere? What was it? What was your installation like?
I went somewhere because I was going to do it myself, but I wasn't sure like what products to use. And then it was like the back, I get lazy. So I was like, well, I want to have them all at least somewhat the same size. So I went somewhere and had them started just plain box parting, nothing special.
Did you get to pick the size or you just kind of was like, I just want to start locks, just do whatever you want?
I picked the size, but they kind of did what they wanted to do.
Mm, okay.
I mean, they were the size that I wanted when I got them first, when I got them done initially. And then as they grew older, some got big, some seemed to get smaller. So it's like I have a wide range of different sizes in my head. And that's
Did
when I
that
thought about stopping because it was like, this isn't right. It's not supposed to
I was
happen.
just wondering if that was one of the reasons why you wanted to comb them out. Like, I feel
Uh-huh.
like that happens for a lot of people. Like the sizing, it just is not like you have a vision when you first start and you see those locks and you're like, hey, this looks good. And as they mature, you're like, wait a minute, that's not what I want.
Yeah. Because all the parts are the same, but they're just like, I have some that are real thick, then I have some that are thin. And I'm like, I don't understand. And it was, it stressed me out for a while, but
Yeah.
I accepted
It's
him. So,
all the different density, hair textures that we have. Jessica, I know
mhm.
that you have micro locks, right? Do
Mhm.
you like that you have really small locks, or do you wish you had gone thicker? Like, what has it been with you with your sizing, or how has it been?
No, I love the size. I love the micro locks. Like I absolutely love them. I feel like until I have to actually wash and like retwist myself, or like I try to curl it, like roll it. That's the only time like ugh. But yeah,
Why
no,
did I
I
go
love
that
the
small?
size. I feel like they're like easier to manipulate, I guess, when I want to like put them in a style or something. Yeah, I love micro locks.
Yeah. How long did it take you to curl them?
Girl, I'm embarrassed to say. So I'll do like individual, like each lock gets their own roller.
What?
So at
Wow.
least
right?
At least like 5 hours,
Oh my.
especially now that they're longer. Yeah.
5
Wow.
babe, pull your hair forward because I feel like you're not giving all the bundles, okay? Give them the bundles. Yes, look at all of that. 5
Wow.
hours?
Yeah. So it takes
Beautiful.
a long time. So that's why I haven't rolled my hair since this summer. Yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough.
And curls are my favorite, but I can't.
Melody, I know you said you said you're style challenged. Have you tried
Hmm.
to style your new locks yet?
I have, but then I get headaches, so it doesn't last.
Mm,
So I usually I'll pull it up sometimes, or just leave it down.
yeah, fair enough. I
Sometimes I'll
see you
use
have you have some
a
lock jewelry on
headband.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit.
headbands.
It's
Yeah.
my birthday, so I put some jewelry in.
Oh,
Okay.
happy
Happy birthday.
birthday. I
Thank
love
you.
that. So you've started your locks. You're 13 months in. When you first started, did you get any pushback or shall I say feedback from other people about you starting locks um in
I
your
got
journey?
more when I went natural. I
Mm,
had more pushback then, but not when I logged. Everybody was like, "Oh, great! Don't stop! Don't give it up! Don't quit!" But when I went natural is when I got the most feedback. People said, "Well, you don't want to fix your hair anymore. That's why you're not doing it." And I'm like, "This takes a lot of work."
Yeah.
it really does. Um Jessica, how about you? Because I know you said your brother got the blues. Did you get the blues? Like what was the time lapse between the two? What was that like?
Yeah, my brother had him like I was in like high school. So it was maybe like 20 years ago. Me, no, I think like Melody said, I think I got more pushback when I went natural. And then by the time I decided to lock my hair, like I didn't care what anybody thought. So like my family knew not to say nothing to me. They would say maybe like little stuff every now and then, but not really. And now that they're like long and like mature, um, they compliment them. But yeah, before I think they just wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, they just kept their opinions to themselves. That's
Yeah.
good because I that definitely was not my experience. Everybody had all the things to say about my hair and how wild it looked.
Mhm.
How about your being in the workforce? Like, what are your professions, if you care to share?
Mhm.
And how did how did you showing up with locks affect it, or how did you feel like you had a representation in that space?
Um,
I'm good.
no, you can go ahead, Melanie.
Okay. I am a independent contractor. I'm a social worker, but I'm an
Okay.
independent contractor at my job, so I can pretty much do what I want. Um, you can't really tell, but my hair is purple.
I see it.
Um,
I see the shades. I thought I
there
see the
were
vibe.
times there were times when it was more purple, and no one's ever said anything about it because I can pretty much, in that regard, I'm blessed. I could do what I want.
Nice. So you work with teenagers, children, older
Teenagers,
people?
children, and adults.
Do you ever feel like they are able to see themselves in you or give you feedback like, "Oh, I like your hair," and they're inspired by them? Do you ever get anything like
Some
that?
do, yeah, some do, especially with the color. They're like, "Oh, I love the color of your hair." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." So sometimes, yeah,
Yeah.
it makes me unique.
It
So I like
absolutely
that.
does. Yes, yes. What about you, Jessica?
So I'm in education. I'm a teacher. I've been like in administration. So I think living here, like I work in DC. So I think it's pretty liberal. So,
Yeah.
a lot of people have locks. It's not, no, I get more compliments than anything. I don't think I've ever gotten any like pushback or negativity. Um, and then what was the second part of the question?
Just do you feel like you're in education, do you feel like the children that you interface with are able to be inspired or see themselves in you because you have locks or feel more confident because you have locks?
Yeah, I think so. We definitely exchange, compliments and energy when, if I see a little girl who has locks and, I'll ask her about her hair or, we'll have different conversations about that. Even students that don't have locks, like that may have like loose natural hair, tend to have fun, talking about or like playing with my hair. So yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. I feel like, just having locks in this day and age, 20 years ago,
Mhm.
it's different, whole different story, whole different reception to having locked hair. But
Yeah.
now, because it's becoming more embraced and more mainstream, it allows children, teens, adults to feel more confident with having locks. So I appreciate you. If you've never heard, I appreciate you showing up in those spaces with having locked hair. One of the things I just realized, I don't know if you can see it in Jessica's camera, but her hair is colored too. Melody has purple hair. So we're going to shift to talking about this color here. Okay. So, Melody, did you have purple hair when you started your locks, or did you color your hair purple after your locks came?
It was a little purple before.
Okay. Why purple?
It's my favorite color.
Favorite color? So you're like,
Mine
I'm just going to have purple
too.
locks.
That's my favorite color too.
It looks great on you.
Thank you.
Did you try any other colors in your hair?
It was kind of like a dark auburn reddish before I went purple.
Yeah.
Maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, I did that.
And what was the
But then,
process like getting it from that dark auburn to now being purple? What did that
uh,
look like?
well, I had bleach, which
Okay.
I didn't like. Well, my hair didn't like it. But other than that, it wasn't too bad because I'm lazy. So it's like colored it once, and then it's like, well, it's growing out. Well, that's okay.
Right. I'm just going to keep it how it is.
Yeah, so it's like maybe once every other year I'll do it and get bleach
Okay.
it to go all purple all over. But other than that, nah.
And when you say your hair doesn't like it, what does that mean? What did your hair say to you? How did it act when you did it?
It looked good, but it started to fall out. I have this problem spot in the back, and
Mhm.
it started to fall out. And you couldn't really tell because my hair was so thick, but I could tell when I'd wash it and detangle, it was falling out because of the
Okay.
bleach.
Yeah, yeah. So have
Hmm.
you ever done any treatments with your locks? Like how do you kind of balance between like wanting it to be purple and bleach and your hair is like sensitive to having it bleached and colored?
I've only been using rinses since I got them locked.
Okay.
My daughter-in-law colors for me, and she just does whatever rinses she can find, so I don't have to worry about bleach because I told
Yeah.
her like I don't really want to do that right now, and it's just regular conditioning, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay, and you, Jessica, tell us about your journey to color.
Oh my goodness. Well, so my hair was colored when I got it locked, like just the tips, because like I said, when I was loose natural, I cut it, I colored it, and then that grew out. So when I started with the two-strand twist, it was like blonde and it was like a blonde patch in the front, and then the rest is like a brown, like a
I
copper or
remember
something.
that.
And then so that grew out, kind of cut those tips off. There's like maybe one or two like blonde tips here and there.
That little piece is from
Yes, I know, it's crazy. So and then I told Jocelyn that I wanted to color my hair. And then I had to go through this rigorous approval process that lasted like a year. Because my hair couldn't be dry. I had to like do steam treatments. I had to make sure it was conditioned. I had to make sure I was drinking water. I had to make sure I was eating right. Like, so was it last summer? No, it was the summer before. So 2 summers ago, I got approved to get my hair colored.
Don't say it like that.
So it was like I guess like more like a copper. I can't remember what, ginger. I don't know, something patch in the front, and then the rest was like a auburn. And then so I realized that looked very different on locks than it did on like natural hair, like loose
Loose
natural
hair.
hair.
Yeah.
So I wanted it toned down a little bit. So it's kind of, you can't see it, and you can kind of see it, but
Yeah,
yeah. So that's
look at
kind of
that.
the color now.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a copper
Mhm.
auburn.
Yeah. And so now I'm going through the approval process again because I want to get it recolored. So yeah, I'm working on getting approved.
But see, you say approved, and I feel a little bit attacked because it's not approved as much as we are striving to make sure your hair is healthy.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay?
So
Would
I
you
have
agree?
to pass the healthy
Healthy test.
checklist.
Well, that's good information to have because I want to go. I want to get my hair real colored again. So I was wondering, like, what should I do to make sure my hair is prepared for coloring again?
Yes, definitely has to be hydrated. You have to have a your moisture balance has to be high because no matter what color, if you do regular color, like we color Jessica's hair without bleach, colored your hair with bleach, but whichever way you go, you will lose strength and integrity in your hair. Color just compromises the hair, period, because it's a chemical. So before you color, you want to make sure your hair is healthy and strong so that it can withstand being colored. And so, like Jessica said, it's the internal hydration, her diet, water, exercise, low stress. And it's also the health of the hair, making sure your hair has enough protein and strength and elasticity so that it's not breaking. Because if you are stressed out and you have color, do you want to talk about it, Jessica?
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. So before I got the approval for color, or for the health checklist, I was in administration and education. I was super stressed, like it was showing up in my hair. And so like my crown is my like trouble area. And so my hair was breaking off. And so my locks were thinning in that area. And so of course I could not get color because that would have just, like she said, weakened the strength of my hair. So yeah, stress level definitely made a big difference. So I had to even that's on a checklist too. I had to lower my stress and like get that area of my hair to, kind of strengthen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important. Um, so let's talk about what does that look like lowering stress and keeping our roots healthy. Melody, for you, do you have any like regular practices that you keep up to maintain your wellness and lower stress?
Exercise, meditation, and yoga.
You practice daily?
No, meditation,
Ish.
yes.
Okay, okay,
Yoga, I do at least 2, 3 times a week, and
okay.
exercises are the days I don't do yoga. So I'm doing
Do you
something most days.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's not your self-care is not a task. It is a lifestyle. So the more you can invite it into your life, the better. Did you have those practices before you had locks, or is that something you kind of developed as
I
you got
did.
into locking?
I did that before.
You did it before. Okay,
Hmm.
that's good. That's good. How about you, Jessica? What do you do for your wellness, self-care?
I would say exercise, yoga here and there, journaling. Um, yeah, I would say it's just like not caring what other people think. Like letting that piece go. Work-life balance. Yeah, just I mean, because work used to be everything, and so it's just so just prioritizing myself. Whether
Hmm.
it's like, if I have to decide between making my tea in the morning or being late for work, then I'm going to be late for work. Not that I'm, promoting being late for work, but I just prioritize myself. Prayer, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is very important to center wellness. Like work is going to be there, and if something happened to you, more often than not, work will keep it moving and hire
Hmm.
somebody else, backfill the position. While meanwhile you're stressing, hair coming out, or just unable to keep going. So I do, Jessica can attest. We have conversations about it's not the job is not the goal, right? Your
Yeah.
self care is the goal, truly, and allowing your hair to reflect your health is it's a way that you can assess like how well you're taking care of yourself. Um, I feel like this was such a good conversation. Melody, if you could share a piece of wisdom advice to someone thinking about starting locks, um, unsure if they want to because they are a lazy natural, as you say, or styling challenged, if you will? What piece of advice would you share with them?
I would say to do it and to don't give up. When you get frustrated and you think that it's not turning out like how you wanted, just accept that it's doing what it's supposed to do, and that's what your hair is taking control. So just let it do that and just relax into it.
I love that. It's definitely solid advice. And Jessica,
I would definitely
what
say
advice would you share? Go
I would
ahead.
definitely say do it. Like just go for it. I think just figuring out your why for wanting locks. I mean, I think when I started my locks, I thought it had to be like this really deep, like spiritual why. And I think, everybody has a different why, but just knowing what your why is, even if it's just for the aesthetic, but knowing that it comes with a big commitment, and you have to like accept your hair through every phase. Of course there is no ugly phase, but you have to accept your hair in every phase, and each phase 9 times out of 10 is not gonna be what you expected it to be. Like I couldn't wait for my hair to get long, and now I'm like, oh my God, it's a lot of work. So yeah, I would just say do it, know your why, know it is a commitment, but you'll grow like through the process with your hair. So yeah, just do it.
I love that. That is great words of wisdom. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, talking about the process with locks, sharing a little bit about your journey. Do either of you have contact information where people could follow you online, or you kind of keep it low key on the social media streets?
I'm kind
Um
of lucky.
Low key. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
my Instagram is I think it's my underscore melanin underscore magic underscore. I have to look and see though. Because those
That melanin
underscores,
magic.
yeah, it kind of throws me off. So it's my underscore melanin underscore magic underscore. Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first. Thank you so much for being on the Trust the Process podcast. I truly appreciate you sharing your words of wisdom, pieces of your journey, inspiration about color, just trusting the process, essentially. Um, it is necessary conversation. So thank you so very much. And I hope to have you back on the podcast again soon.
Yeah. Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us. It was
Yeah,
fun.
thank you.
Of course. All right. For those of you that are still here with me live, just a few quick announcements I want to share. First, I want to shout out Kimberly or Kim. Well, Kimberly, Kimberly W. for purchasing a super sticker for the conversation and podcast. I truly, truly appreciate your support. It means the world to me. Once upon a time, all of our super chats were going towards our shampoo collection. And I'm happy to announce that the shampoo collection is finally here. So if you have been thinking about trying Crown Elements, if you have not yet tried Crown Elements, be sure to head over to crownelements.com, join our mailing list because the shampoo's formulated. So it's coming out. I will be putting samples in orders as they come in for the month of February so that it can be released in March. Super excited about that. Couldn't have done this without you. Being a entrepreneur that is literally just building everything from the ground up, your super chat, super sticker purchases of Crown Elements, just any support that you have invested in me. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. And it is coming to you soon. Just Clean will be our first shampoo. So I'm happy to let you all be the first to know that the shampoo is here, and orders as they come in towards the end of February. So I say around the end of February, they will be in all of those orders. All right. So thank you so much. Please share this podcast with a friend. Like the video if you learned anything or were inspired by anything that was shared. And subscribe, right? We're on a journey to 100,000 in the family. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. And as always, I am wishing you peace, love, and good vibes. I'll see you next week, Thursday, 8 p.m.